I can bring another topic. Tell me, in Denmark, can the executive, can the prime minister touch? Some people believe it's unfair that just because you have a high-paying job, you should get it. But it's not meant to be an income for you, just because you have kids. It's supposed to help you so you can support yourself, even with a minimum wage. See the difference? In my country, it's like a salary. It's like a salary and it replaces it. In that sense. Another topic, for example, in Denmark, can the Prime Minister, the one in charge of the executive power, most of it, besides the king, can he use the reserves of the federal bank indiscriminately to spend them at his leisure? Can he do that? Can the Prime Minister grab the money from the Federal Bank of Denmark and use it? In my country, that was done by socialism. They took hold of the reserves of the Federal Bank to spend all of that and break the system 7-8 times. In Denmark, was the highest? No, and every time a mayor or anyone else has done anything even remotely close, they get caught, fired, and fined. Okay. Here the person stole 3 PIBs. PIB is the equivalent of what a country produces as money throughout a whole year. Here they stole the equivalent of 3 PIBs doing that, and they got prison at home. They're being judged right now with prison at home. They don't go to a real jail because they are over 17 years. If you're over 17 years here and you're a powerful politician, you don't go to a normal jail. You go to you go to your home, and that's it. Well, in my country they did that without any consequence, and we ended up with 17,000% inflation. That miraculously, supposedly now that the European press is saying, our current president Milei, I don't know if you've seen it with all of the, I really don't appreciate how amazing it is to live in the least corrupt country in the world, but I learn to appreciate when I hear stories from you or your GF who is Filipino. Precisely. So whenever you see someone calling us I don't know, wretched conservatives, or that we are full of hatred because we are against the rainbow flag or whatever, it's not that simple. Trust me. When you have 17 isms, I will tell it to you in a detailed way so you can see it. Using the welfare state as an excuse, that caused a 17,000% inflation. Last time, in the previous times it was more than 17,000. How does it feel, actually, in real life, day-to-day life? How does it feel? Because we generally describe it with numbers, but we don't say how it feels. Imagine that you go to a supermarket with that inflation. So, at that point, what happens if you just spend money? You just spend your country's treasury money, okay? Like I said, what happens if you do it once? If you do it twice? If you do it 3 times? If you do it 4 times? If you do it 5 times? Okay, you can print bills once. You can print bills. You can physically print the bills to mitigate what you're doing. There we go. You can print bills once. That's why inflation is called a silent tax. You can print bills. There we go. We finished the dungeon, people. You can print bills, right? You can print them once. Okay? So you do the social assistance and etc. You become populist number 1, let's say. Everyone earns. Imagine I said tomorrow, everyone in my country now earns $3 million as minimum wage salary. There, poverty is solved. No, poverty is not solved if I do that. That's the question that you should always ask a person. If you think that social assistance, indiscriminate social assistance, forever is correct, then riddle me why I cannot just tell to everyone, go, everyone as minimum wage has $3 million salary. It sounds nice, right? It causes inflation. Because it causes inflation. What is inflation? The silent tax. You can print bills if you do it once. I do the social assistance once. And I print bills to mitigate it. I increase the amount of money that is out there on my country circulating, right? And that degrades the inherent value of the bill itself. Now, you do it once, you get 5%, 10%, 20%. At that point, the country is starting to go to shit. But there's a problem that people don't know. Inflation should be calculated exponentially, not adding it. Not in a linear way, adding 5% one month and then 5% another month. You have to multiply it by itself. 5% times 5%. It's exponential. And it gets out of control if you keep spending on social assistance indefinitely, causing a second phenomenon called hyperinflation, which is the case of my country. See that it is not blind hatred. Why I am against indiscriminate social assistance. Of course, if there's a flood like there was in Austria, for example, some months ago, of course, yes, assist the population. But once, not permanently, not make the welfare state permanent. Why? Because it causes hyperinflation if it's not a clean state like Denmark. If you don't have where to get the money from without printing bills endlessly. In that sense. So what happens in a hyperinflation scenario? Just so you see why I am like I am. Imagine you go to the supermarket. Just so I can certify that your last comment is completely correct. Imagine you go to the supermarket in a hyperinflation scenario. Well, suddenly you need a wheelbarrow to buy a slice of bread filled with coins. Indeed, that's what happened to Argentina. Do you know why in Europe you don't print 500 euros bills anymore? Because of Argentina. Because our corrupt government leaders went there and took all of the 500 euros bills to their corrupt government, that they also did drugs and whatever. But well, pretty much that happens. But it's worse. Even if you go with the wheelbarrow to the supermarket to get the bread, the large bills were also targeted by fraudsters, from my understanding. They were my previous country's presidents. They were my country's previous presidents, sorry. They were by the regime of Argentina. They got all of the bills. You know why? Because the 100 euro bills were way too much on a bag to carry it back from Europe, precisely. The 100 euros ones were way too evident, as the physical bag was way too big. The 500 one made it smaller. It's because of that. It's because of that the 500 euro bill is not there. Because of the insane corruption of my country. I bet you can see why in the past we have bombarded our own city, people, to somehow stop this. Now, fortunately, this time around, 2 years ago, it was through a democratic vote. So, you go to the supermarket with a wheelbarrow, with all of the... to buy the bread, okay? But there's another problem, huh? Gisams. Maybe you go to the supermarket at, let's say, 5 p.m. after your job. You go to your job, you get out of your job, you go to the supermarket at 5 p.m. At 5 past 5 p.m., like 5 p.m. and 5 more minutes, 5 past 5, the bread changed its price. 5 minutes, it's all it took. In 5 minutes, the bread changed its price. A bit erased, or 0.01 cents of a euro, or your local currency. No. Probably 10 times the original price of the bread. So as you can see, it's not something that simple as saying that anyone who is against social assistance is a putrid ignorant. No, we are not. Everyone has their own reasons, and those are my. This is my first-hand experience. My parents suffered that. I almost suffered that in the 90s again, because of people not understanding it. 2 years ago, we fortunately had a president who was a doctor in economics and fixed that shit. Is fixing that shit. It took 80 years for ignorant Argentines, not all of us, but ignorant Argentines, to realize that. Don't do the same mistake. See that at the end of the day, even if you disagree with anything I say, people, I say everything with the best intention out of my love for society. At the end of the day, see if it's not as simple as calling every single conservative a demon. See if it's like that. So imagine what I'm telling you. Do you want at the supermarket things to change in price in such extreme way? Well, look at your inflation, or at your country's inflation rate. Look at it. Look at it. So not only that, I can tell you a more horrifying story. I have a more horrifying story. You thought that was the most horrifying one. I have one that is more horrifying. The legendary case of 2001 in which in Argentina, once, because of the inflation, I would consider myself center-left, but I'm not really sure where I belong. No worries, no worries. But I'm also super nationalistic. I wanted to protect Danish culture and what makes us... Well, then you are not absolutely left, then, Yisums, because most liberals nowadays would say that that is racist if you want to preserve... It has gone so extremely to the left that you are now considered center-right for saying that. Yet I have a foreign girlfriend, but she has done so much effort to try and fit in our culture, unlike many other welfare. Precisely. So I'm all for socialism. I'm all for capitalism, as long as it's regulated and not radical. Well, precisely, but you will have a problem in any society with the first part. The second you say that you want to preserve any Danish culture, like I would do with Italian, you would be considered right. It would be considered right, even if you are not, I can tell. But by these extreme liberals of nowadays, I don't think they will be so comprehensive with you nowadays the second you say that. The second you say, I want to preserve Danish culture, they will probably call you... Maybe I'm center-left, but I need to yell so loud before the far left hear me. No, the second you say, I can imagine, the second you say you want to preserve Danish culture, that you would be probably called a Nazi or some shit like that, in a very ignorant way. I can assure you, don't try. This is like those things that say, don't try it at home, people. Don't try this trick at home. It would be it. It would be that. Like, the second you say you want to preserve Danish culture, Nazi. Which is an irony, because Denmark was the very first country attacked by the Nazis, which of course I'm against in that sense. Yeah, but people who say Nazi don't even fucking know what that means, which is... Indeed. I have had this discussion a lot with a lot of viewers. Indeed. Because indeed, the Nazis were socialists. Yeah, we lost to Nazi Germany in 30 minutes. Lol. No, there was a valiant defense that a lot of people do not know. A single captain grabbed a unit of cannons alongside his very few mates in terms of the relationship population and actually bombarded and died in the assault. Actually, they didn't just surrender peacefully. They didn't just surrender peacefully. True, that's what happened in the terms of the amount of time. But no, the ones that do not know what Nazi means. Precisely. I always tell this story. Nazi Germany was socialist. Eraser is just because you are conservative and you just want to manipulate the minds of the population and... No, I can explain it. Why? Because the name of the party was National Socialism. Is that not enough of an explanation out of itself? Them confessing it in the name of the party. They absorbed something that explicitly in German is called Volksgemeinschaft. Volksgemeinschaft. It's German, Eraser. Not even you know what the fuck it means. Yes, I had to explicitly search for the definition. Nobody knows what the fuck that German word means. Volksgemeinschaft. You can Google it. Inherited spirit of the Prussian community. The original name of Germany was Prussia. Before that regime. So, the inherited spirit of the Prussian community. It's not an individualistic stance. Why? Because the state absorbs all of the population. In that sense. Another thing. What was the conservative stance back in that day? In that period of time? The monarchies. The remains of the medieval monarchies that fortunately survive up until now. So there's a bit of rationality in the word. The medieval monarchies were the conservatives, not the National Socialist Party of Germany, because that also implies... See the problem, this is the best argument. That has nothing to do with the rest. That is different than the rest. Instead of saying the Volksgemeinschaft and the absorption of that by the Nazi Party. Is Napoleon considered socialist nowadays, people? As well? No, people barely remember him. And he did the fucking same for France 100 years before. And nobody mentions it. See if it is being used as a political weapon in that sense, completely empty of content. When was the last time you heard the argument I said about the absorption of the Prussian Volksgemeinschaft, including the word community in it? The monarchy is individualistic. The monarchy is more individualistic in that sense. It was also back in the day much more. In that sense. And they were attacked by precisely that. The same as the Soviet Union. They are different expressions of the same. The socialism can express itself in the form of Nazism and in the form of the Soviet Union. But it doesn't change the root of it being the state consuming individual will. But Nazi Germany actually considered Denmark to be no threat and so similar in culture, so once we surrendered it was very mild here compared to other occupied countries. The Germans called Denmark the cream frontline because the soldiers were treated so well over here, because of our laid-back nature, of course. We had reflectors and freedom fighters. I recently learned we actually saved 99% of the Jews population that lived here. Had to Google the number to be sure I heard right. Yes, it was quite different, but that is the thing. Well, I could back then, the Danish monarchy that was the first invaded, same for the British, that was the one that wasn't conquered ever. That's why I'm a deep Anglophile, isms. Even if I am Italian, I'm a deep Anglophile. I admire the the UK a lot. I admire the UK a lot. First constitution of the world, and etc. It was actually Niels Bohr who made sure. Niels Bohr who made sure. It was actually Niels Bohr who made sure of that. He called the Swedish king to allow the Jews to be sailed over here. Well, there, precisely all of that. In that sense, it is quite unfair to then call. But it was under a monarchic regime. See, people, everything that he's describing was under a monarchic regime. It's quite unfair to call a monarchy um, to associate it with Nazi Germany. Or it would be the same as associating it with the French Revolution, which actually tried to kill it. It's the same idea as the French Revolution, even if it's hard to admit for the French in that case, and a lot of countries and the liberal party of and the liberal parties of the United States and Europe nowadays. The Danish monarchy never ended. It transitioned from an absolute monarchy to a constitutional one in 1849, limiting the king's power, and remains of constitutional monarchy today, with the King Frederick the 10th succeeding over the Queen Margaret. Yeah, last year I saw it. I'm a fan of all of those. In that sense, I'm a fan of monarchies. In that sense, in January 2024, after her voluntary abdication, the monarchy ended as an absolute rule in 1849, but continued as a constitutional system, which is Denmark's current form. See, the form of government: parliamentary democracy instead of an absolute parliamentary monarchy instead of an absolute monarchy. But the form of the state remained the same. It is unfair. It is unfair to associate a conservative monarchy, which is conservative. The true meaning of conservatism is that preserving customs, but it is unfair to associate it with Nazi Germany, because it would be the same as associating it with the French Revolution and Napoleon, which were the ones that tried to destroy the medieval monarchic system. See that there's an evident contradiction, people, that when I say I'm conservative, I do admire all of those monarchies that saved all of that people, because it gives us stability. Instead, I perceive that in Nazi Germany, precisely, in the Soviet Union, in the French Revolution, all of those systems brought chaos instead of stability. And regarding the part of integration, I was going to comment you, precisely, in terms of integration, I have the citizenship of the Italian citizenship. I can live in any country of Europe, and I still don't even go there, even if I culturally share the Christian values and etc. So it is deeply unfair. It took me 2 years of paperwork of proving that my great grandpa was expelled from northern Italy. He was from northern Italy, from the frontier, the southern frontier with Switzerland. Actually, he lived right at the frontier, 140 kilometers. Is that cone that Switzerland has to the south? It has like a horn. Well, my great grandpa was right below it in a small town called Meda, Meda. It's a small town, and there was the hot spot of World War II. He had nothing to do, and well, he was he had to escape, and because of that, I get the citizenship because of the blood right of the Roman Empire, precisely. That is still in Italy. So I went through 2 years of paperwork. I am Italian. I fucking look Italian. I speak English. I culturally integrate because I don't need to integrate, in fact, because precisely in Argentina we are also Roman Catholics. Pretty much. We eat pasta. We eat pizza. We are the same as a fucking Italian. We speak Spanish instead because we got independent from the Spanish. So, all of that. It is quite deeply unfair. It's cool you know so much about monarchies. I just started researching a bit on the Romans. Empress Maria Feodorovna, who was Danish princess. Sorry if I butchered the names. Historically, the worst thing for a Roman, Spaniard, or Italian, it is to speak any Viking language. The same for you. It must be with us. And it's like that. Who was the Danish princess Dagmar of Denmark, who became the wife of Russia's Tsar Alexander III and mother of the last Tsar Nicholas II, connecting the Danish royalty with the Russian Empire before the revolution. Such a tragic fate the family met. No, I love it. We study European history here. It's because of that, Yums. It's not like in the United States. We study European histories because of that. over at primary school and, well, elementary. Elementary is called generally. Here we call it primary. And high school. It's not because I googled any of this. It's just my memory from studying over at university and high and elementary school, pretty much. It's because of that, because in Argentina, well, I need to tell you. What do you know of Argentina, of my country, then, instead? I always, I find this question curious. Besides our terrible economic, I was kicked out of elementary in 6th grade. I wish I had learned more about history back then. Well, yeah, but pretty much that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. Instead, I spend my whole life locked up reading. In that sense, I was always a good student. In that sense, what would you know of my country, Argentina? I bet I'll have a lot of surprises, because everyone thinks that we are pretty similar to the rest of South America. In that sense, and it's not the case. Culturally, at least. Culturally, at least. Crazy economy, beautiful girls. That one is good. That one is a nice compliment. Good wine, successful refugees who had their own societies. Low. The part of the Nazis is false. The part of the Nazis is false. Is false. We've had migration from all countries in Europe equally. I think the amount of Nazis that fled were 50? 50? And they weren't the scientists, they were soldiers. The scientists went to the United States much more. I think they were 200 families. Here it was 50. Here they were soldiers. There they were the masterminds. So you should look up for that legend. The Nazi legend, it would be in the United States instead. Ironically, the ones who beat them took the best ones. See that it makes sense. Took the best, the most brilliant minds. I mean, like they were scientists that they were just forced by the regime to go develop atomic bomb, and the poor scientists would say, no. Well, what are we gonna do? Otherwise, they're gonna kill me. Ludwig Freud. Yes, yes. Well, the last part I can confirm you. It is a political weapon against my country, 100%. The proportion of population here, as proof, is all Italian and Spaniard. We are all Italian and Spaniards. We have small communities, small German, Polish as well, that were attacked by the Germans, so see how neutral it is, and Irish communities, and Welsh communities. Those four would be the big ones right after Italians and Spaniards. Yes, it's like that. So no, the refugees were the same as the other. Oh yeah, of course I know. Oh, the Falkland Wars. Well, you wouldn't be surprised to know that I support Great Britain, even if we were invaded twice. I do support Great Britain. I do admire them, even if we were like that. In that sense, I am an Anglo. Argentines had an amazing relationship with Britain before that. All of our trains, British. Our educational system, inherited from Britain. And because of socialism used that as a weapon to breed hatred against Europe and Britain. Did it never really mend and return to what it was? The relationship. It was severely damaged because Britain helped us against Spain to get independent. Our educational system is British. I love the British, as you can see. Argentina speaks the best English out of the European Union, out of all native countries. In that sense, of course, Denmark, the Dutch speak the best English. Out of Europe, we have the best English teachers, like me. I am. So you can see the relationship was destroyed for 80 years. For 80 years, no, ever since the Falklands happened, that I don't remember the exact years. It was 1983, I think it was, something like that. No, something like that, a bit like that. So pretty much, socialism bred hatred for a lot of years, and only after socialism was defeated in the popular vote 2 years ago, only 2 years ago, this is starting to change. This is finally starting to change, and it's in the present, the improvement that could ever happen. It's happening right now as we speak. But deep inside, the population deciphered the lies of the, how do I put it to you? Soviet Union, correct? Yisums, Soviet Union. I think you will see a snowball effect. It's only going to get better and better with your new system. I hope so dearly, because there's really no reason for Argentina to fight over a single small piece of land of those islands. Because think of it like this, Yisums. Argentina is not part of the European Union, but having a British territory right beside us. Imagine if the Falklands are attacked by China. It would trigger Article 5. It would trigger Article 5, Gisons. Because technically it's British territory in that sense. Well, now with the Brexit and all of that shit. But see, I feel safer with the Falklands because I'm intelligent and not a nationalist, a blind nationalist in that sense. I feel safer knowing that a piece of land right beside me is part of NATO. Like attacking Argentina, rather have the Brits near you than the Chinese or the Russians probably see. Indeed. District, what is your opinion on the new laws that most countries have started to apply about fireworks? Like, even if you have plus 18, you're not allowed to set off fireworks because it scares dogs and pollutes the air. I am against fireworks. I think they have to be handled by people. I will tell you why. Because a relative of my father, I'll tell you this story. District, good story about the fireworks. The fireworks is an amazing debate, District. Yisums, by the way, my country was also invaded by Great Britain in 1810. The capital. This is something that people don't know. Just like Australia, it was invaded. It's just that it's probably the only case in the history of that period that they that sadly, because otherwise now I would be British directly. I wouldn't need to go through anything else. Sadly, they lost very fast. Then I can tell you the intricacies of it. Sadly, I would have wished that they would have. I wish they would have won, but precisely where they had to win, which was here at Buenos Aires. I'm from the capital, but they applied these laws because of animals. No, not because of animals. That is the modern idea of replacing children with animals, so people don't have children and they have pets. No, it's because of this story. District. By the way, Gisums, District here is from Romania. He's one of my closest friends and viewers here of the channel. He has helped me a lot. He's from Romania and he's a great guy as well, the same as Patrick. That is from Hungary. They're all deeply friendly. So pretty much it's like this. District. Christmas, right? My father. He was with his family. He hadn't met my mother yet. He was with his family. He sees a firework. What's up, amigos? My name is. Your name is Emil. Oh, that's your name. It's almost the same as mine. That's your name. That's a French name, but it's almost the same as mine. If that's your real name, this is mine. This is my name. Yeah, a lot of people in Poland, France, and Scandinavia. This is mine. Instead, mine is is of course ancient medieval Arabian and Christian. I generally use Christian to not bother people. Oh yeah, almost the same. They mean different things. Emir means prince in ancient medieval Arabian because of my Syrian great grandpa that survived World War One. In a sense, and so it means Christian prince. It's good. It was a good composition. The other option that my mother had was Kevin, and it doesn't sound as good. Like that one means Christian prince. Even if I'm an atheist, it's an irony of life. But yeah, still, I support the Christian culture. So. And in the end, it ended up making sense. District, the story. So my father was at. Bro, my girlfriend's name is Ezra. Mine is Emily. Her names are all starting with E, like Elrond, like in the Lord of the Rings. No, I would love to be called Elrond. That beautiful name, like in the Lord of the Rings. Like the leader of my brother's name is who? Elrond, like in the Lord of the Rings. He probably got inspiration from there. District, the story. Eh. So, the firework. My father looked at it, correct? He looked at the at the small rope that they have over at the to turn it on with the fire so it blows. And he told his sister's husband, pretty much. He told him, do not use this one because the rope there is failed, which can happen. And of course, his sister's, my father's sister's husband said, come here, you are a chicken, you're a coward, etc. He turned it on with the fire and he lost a finger. So people, so this is a real story. He lost a finger because it exploded right there because the rope was indeed failed. It was a defective. It was defective. He lost a finger. So you can see why it's something for people to have respect with, and I feel people do not have respect with. Nothing to do with the animals, nothing to do with it. Respect with those things. I would prohibit it as well, not because of the animals, but because of this. Because it's something that can cause a tangible damage to the population with the fireworks. Not because of the animals, not because of all of the new things of considering animals people. No, it's because of this story. Yisms, Erica, it's a mess lot. No, I love Elrond. It's like in the Lord of the Rings. He's like the elf commander. Fireworks can be really dangerous if it's made by amateurs, unfortunately. And usually drunk people are always near it, which still makes it even worse. Well, let's not even add that component, Yisms. Let's not even add that, but it will be because of that district. If you're still watching, it's because of that. He told my father, no, you're a coward. You're don't be an FAG or whatever. And back in the day, it was another time, people, 70 years, etc. Don't be a coward. And he lost a finger. And he lost a finger. And he lost a finger. He lost a finger. Forever. You cannot build fingers yet. Sadly, people, science hasn't advanced, and it's like that. You know what they say? It sucked to me. Just got me. Well, I do not know. The people here know that I am a very traditional individual regarding those things. I am against anything that isn't the sacred union of a woman and a man, of course. In that sense, I am against all of that. But I don't go around on the street insulting people. That is true. I would beat the rainbow flag culture and all of that over at the parliament with votes. It is true. I don't go on the street doing the insulting people in that sense. I would beat it. I'm completely against it. I have said on stream that I do not believe in the existence of gayness itself and all of those things because of a metaphysical principle. I do believe that there are still males that are touching each other for whatever reason, but the metaphysical concept of sex is between a man and a woman, very traditional stuff, but I don't go around insulting like that with those things. The metaphysical principle is basically that the framework determines the content of all metaphysical entities in the universe. And gender theories assume that inside of the consciousness of the brain, something called gender is developed. For me, genders don't exist. Only two biological sexes determined at birth. Why? Well, because the framework determines the content. The biological composition of gray and white matter of the brain, that was extremely studied in Denmark precisely, determines your sex as male and female at birth, or female at birth. Saying that inside of the consciousness then you become trans or whatever goes against the basic metaphysical principle. Imagine if I said this, people, of the framework determining the content. How can you say that inside of the consciousness of the brain an abstract idea influences the biological chemicals of the framework that is the human brain, which is male or female? It's different a male brain than a female brain. So it is a contradiction. That's basically my argument, not blind hatred. Because of that, because the proportion of gray and white matter is determined at birth biologically. You know what's interesting? Before social media, there were barely anyone who was trans in Europe, and you say, well, let's not even mention that amazing argument of observation of empirical evidence. Basically nothing, and now all over the place. See that you call yourself center left, and you can still observe metaphysical evidence because you have critical thinking, but a lot of people don't have it. And the second I said that, for example, they would insult me. They would insult me, even if I'm giving the reason, the very explicit reason. In that sense, how can the content determine the framework? How can, inside of the consciousness of the brain, gender be generated and be more important than the biological framework of the proportion of gray and white matter of the brain? How do you justify it? How do you justify it without saying that it's a social construct and saying that it's a... Because nowadays they say that I would be called an ignorant, and I know that I would be called an ignorant and called that it's biology or hormones or whatever. How do you justify that? It's impossible. It's a social construct then. That's a different story. If it's a social construct, not a biological one, then there's a political interest in it, having that which you mentioned as a consequence, everything appearing... Why the obsession? Why the obsession by the state to spotlight it in the last 20 years? The same that I said for the ADHD and autism reports and etc. Why the obsession in the last 15 years and not before? Why that obsession from the source of the government? Not any source. The source of the government of the United States, then affecting all of our countries. Why? Critical thinking, people. I like thinking. I'm not saying that I have the absolute, that I'm absolutely right and I have the absolute truth. Observation of metaphysical reality. In that sense, isn't it suspicious what he's mentioning as well? That interestingly, before social media, barely anyone named those things in Europe as well. Let's not even mention the United States. That was drastic. But I would pose this other argument. The universe, people. You know that we are in the third arm of Perseus, of our spiral galaxy. That blocks, that is quite inside of it. We have 6 arms. We're right in the middle. We are not close enough as to the black hole at the center of the Milky Way, and not far away from it, so we don't get the debris from outer space, and we don't get consumed by the inner black hole. So imagine Earth is exactly at that third arm. Because of that, the solar system is inside of it and allows life on Earth. Imagine, and because of that life on Earth we can exist. But before we existed, there was a fish that developed the spine as the first animal, that then was inherited by the monkeys, and then was passed down to us. The spine, the most important bone of our body, the main spine that keeps all of our body in standing. Imagine if I said for a second that the spine of the first fish on Earth determined the existence of the Milky Way, of our galaxy. Would it make sense metaphysically for a metaphysical entity of inner existence compared to an exterior one, in this case the consciousness of the brain with the gender theory compared to the biology of the framework of the brain with the proportion of gray and white matter? It's the same as saying that the first fish on Earth that developed the spine bone somehow determined in any way the existence of our galaxy, of the Milky Way. It does not make sense, because the framework determines the content of a metaphysical entity, not the content determines the framework of the metaphysical entity. Well, truth don't care about opinions, which is the beauty of it. Critical thinking and the choices we make is the greatest freedom we have as humans. I think I completely agree. I completely agree with you, and it's fascinating whenever someone with an open mind joins the stream like that. I'm not gonna lie, I listened for 10 minutes and I have no idea what you are talking about in Resources District. No, but why? You got the argument against the fireworks, though. I just read your frequently asked question. You really love Star Wars. I can't get into it, but I really like Warhammer. Okay, it's perfectly respectable. I'm lost, says District. What's up? Have you my life, fanboy? Says Pillow. How you doing, Pillow? See? Yisums. This person, Pillow from Poland, he's the most liberal out of all of us here. And we debate a lot. What's a Nagar gotta do to get some liberal democracy? No. There's some liberal democracy. You are lost, District. I replied to the fireworks one. Did you listen to the story of my father? Actually, Darth Maul and the Grievous guy made me enjoy the movies now that I think of it. Okay, let's organize it. Yisums was first with the Star Wars comment. Okay, you really love Star... I also love Warhammer 40k. Pathfinder or D&D, I will listen, says District, in the vault. No, I can tell you the story. General Kenobi. I love General Grievous. Here I have it. I'll show you something. Look at this, people. Look at this. I have a lot of toys from Star Wars that I have here. I have a lot of toys and books. Look at this. How can you not like General Grievous? Here, I'll show you something. How can you not like Star Wars? Elon Musk or Friedrich Engels? Oof, that one is difficult, Pillow, because I disagree with both of them in a lot of things. But I would say that Engels caused more damage overall. I would say. I don't know. Pathfinder on D&D, it's easy. D&D 3.5 originally, which is the creator of Pathfinder. Modernly, 5.0 is absolute dog shit. Sorry. I would say that. Why? Because of the reduction in the abstract complexity of the rules. So, look at this, people. I have toys from Star Wars. Look at this. You like this one. You like this one. You like this Darth Maul. But you don't like poor General Grievous. Here, I like General Grievous a lot. I like him much more. Here, and here. This one is Obi-Wan. Here. And I have the original movie from the Clone Wars, people. And I have a full library with the expanded universe before Disney prostituted it all. So, yeah. Regarding the fireworks district, even if you don't make it to the board, I said that my dad, precisely, over at a Christmas, found a firework, correct? Regarding the fireworks, why I'm against them, because they are dangerous. And he basically, as you can see, I don't mind repeating myself endlessly. I love it. No worries, people. I love it. So, and basically a relative told him, you're a coward. You're a coward. Yes, yeah, cool. I watched the three new movies with your girlfriend, but we really only like the first two. It's a these YouTube people looking for debate on their Discord communities. They drag people to debate about Trump topic. Hang on. Let me finish the firework for you, you get a summary. So my father was over at Christmas before meeting my mother. So his sister's husband brought the fireworks, and my dad saw them and saw that one had the rope over at the bottom. The rope was defective, and he told Flying Energies as well. How are you doing? Flying Energies. Sorry, I hadn't seen you because it has the same as Pillow, the color there. How are you doing, Flying Energies with Ashes of Creation as well? Great game. There that you showed me yesterday. So the rope over at the bottom of the firework, my dad told his sister's husband, it is defective. Do not use it. Over at Christmas celebration several years ago before beating my mother. And his sister's husband told him, you're a coward. Give it to me. I will fire it and you will see that there's nothing wrong. He tried to turn it on, the firework, and it blew off one of his fingers. As I was telling to Jesus and you, if you were listening. So that's why I'm against fireworks district. Star Wars. You watch the three new movies with your GF, and we only really like the first 6. If that makes sense, the same. Anyone interested in how? Then I read yours, district. Your comment. And hello, Flying Energies, and hello, Pillow. Pillow, I am a Melee fanboy because he saved our economy from 17,000%. The inflation, he reduced it, and it is still being. People around the world are still wondering how the fuck, ourselves included, how the fuck he did it, how he saved all of our asses, being the greatest doctor in economics in all of time of humanity. I'm sorry, he is. Pathfinder and D&D, 3.5 D&D, then Pathfinder 5.0 is absolute dog shit. Elon Musk or Frederick Engels, both are not what I would pick Mr. Thomas Aquinas, with all due respect to them. I think Engels caused more damage, so I would pick Elon Musk overall. I think he has caused less damage throughout humanity because he didn't invent relativism alongside Marx. Flying Energies, hello. I hope Ashes of Creation is going magnificently. Everyone check out Flying Energies. He's also another streamer. If you don't like my crazy political comments and etc., he's not like me. He's very brave for even speaking in my stream, being another great streamer. And he speaks over at my stream, which for any liberal would probably hate him. So he's quite brave, and I admire him for that. Because I know that one thing is as a viewer and another one is as a streamer, speaking in a political stream like mine. Well, political. I debate. And regarding Star Wars, I have a whole bookshelf with all of the expanded universe of Star Wars, which I think Disney prostituted it. I also like Warhammer 40k a lot. It is better to live for to die for the Emperor than live for yourself. It has amazing phrases that are quite deep in a lot of cases. I love it. It's a British creation that is an interpretation of the Roman Empire as well, so it's beautiful. So, Star Wars. And now I get to your comment district. I go in order. I feel the same. The first 6 movies are the greatest science fiction work in the history of humanity. Pretty much. It's amazing. I made the mistake of going to watch episode 7 to the theater, to the cinema, with my mother when it was released. This is real, people. I ended up shouting outside of the cinema in a natural instinct in anger. It was the only time in my life in which I actually lost control a bit. As I shouted, prostitution of a saga. I shouted that. A lot of people watched because he looked at me, because here in Argentina they don't take science fiction so seriously. They are watching football 24 hours a day. So yeah, it wasn't my case. I don't like football, but yes, yes, it was the only time in my life, I think, that I wasn't as calm as a 100-year-old old man that you can see that I am, for good reason. Uh, Episode 7 is like the worst, most infamous pile of degenerate distraction. You have to go to Dean Windsor. It's the worst pile of degenerate. Now I read your comment, District. I don't think that I have forgotten about it. It's a topic that deeply shakes me to my core. Episode 7. Uh, beyond beyond what we know about DEI and the inclusivity scores and etc. Beyond Kathleen Kennedy, beyond anything, beyond the woke influence. The story is, first of all, they prostituted something. Phantom, Phantom. Well, Phantom. Phantom, it's been so much time. How are you doing? With you said that you would go to security. I mean, now I need to read the comments. Let me read all of the comments, people. And I, Phantom, how have you been? How have you been? You did computer security last time I saw. They're in Greece. Now I read them all. So, District, Eraser, I see these YouTube people looking for debate on their Discord communities. They drag people to debate about Trump topic, for the topic of Trump, for example. And most of them, they can't even debate for 1 minute. I think you would be a great content for these debate YouTubers and you could boost your channel. Okay, District, then tell me at Discord how it would be, but I wouldn't stop playing the games. I need to play the games. You have to go to Dean Withers. No, because I would be insulted pretty much the same the second I said something like that. They would, if anyone wants to come to here to the chat is one thing, but I don't like that. But well, thank you for the thought, District. You're always thinking about me. Yisums, you just gave up when you saw them drinking blue milk from the alien. Who the fuck wrote this and thought nerds would like this? Then I can endlessly complain about episode 7. Phantom, how have you been? You were there the very day I reached affiliate. Is that Diablo 5 Campus's flying energy? Yes, this is much better than Diablo 5, what you see here, people. No, anyone here in the chat, now that there's some people, otherwise I have to ask Crowbar, who is the oldest one out of all of us, pretty much. Has anyone here played the Ultima Online, the first MMORPG? Because I need someone to teach me to play it on stream. I need someone who knows who played Ultima Online. I would have a very special stream for the person, whoever, if you know anyone who knows who played Ultima Online, the first MMORPG. If anyone knows of the existence of said person, has to tell me. Brother, I haven't opened Twitch in so long, so busy at the moment in life. Phantom, I have to say, I could never thank you. You were there the very day you and Patrick, you two, were there alongside Crowbar, the three of you, the day I had to reach affiliate. The 3 days that I had to reach, but in the final day, I finally did so. I am the oldest one because I will be... No, District. No, Crowbar is older than you. No. No. No, no, no. Both of you, Flying Energies and District, you are 1 more year than me. Crowbar, Ultima Online PP, lol, kind of cool. Very you played it. You played it. Yisums, you played it. You know how to play Ultima Online. This would be a miracle. I've been looking for someone who has played it. I need to exhibit the first MMORPG ever created to the world. So youngsters stop being ignorant about its existence. 31 already. No, but District, both you and Flying Energies are one more year than me. I'm 30. But Crowbar is older than us. He's 34. August 28th of August 1994. No, my uncle did. I watched it from the side. I only played Dark Age of Camelot, which is well, Yisums. I bet your uncle wouldn't agree to come to the stream. But if you know of any person he taught or someone, I would appreciate it. 1991. In your case, you are 1991. Look at that. Oh, I think only you are with Crowbar. I have to tell Crowbar. He has someone of his exact age, I think. We all here, 23 years as Phantom. You are, don't worry, Patrick is 18, so Patrick is younger than you. You are like the second youngest Phantom. Crowbar will love you over at Discord, Yisum, if you'd like to join. Don't bully me, please. Oh, someone who is young, 23. No, Patrick is also 18, for example. Pillow hasn't said. He said he was below 30. I don't know, so he's maybe closer to me at 30. So yeah, but a bit less than us. Flying Energies, District and me, we are like 1994, and they are 1994, I'm 1995. Yums, you are like Crowbar. Crowbar has lost his title of being the oldest, I think. Nice to see you reach affiliate, by the way, congrats. No, I wanted to thank you, Phantom, because you and Patrick and Crowbar stayed up until the end that day. I did so. Yes, I finally did so. After 4 long years. So yeah, I wanted to thank you because that day was the last day I could see you. And I felt deeply sad that I could never thank you. I thought about even whispering you, but I said the guy, poor guy, he said that he got to social security, no, not social, you did computer security, you did you got a job as informatic security, like at the PC, to prevent hackers to enter a company, in that sense. So yeah, you like Ambra, life has taken you. In the case of Ambra, he's another Polish viewer, he's younger, just like Patrick, and pretty much he had to go to university, and whenever some of you have to go to university, you depart for university and tell me, well, goodbye Eraser, we won't see for some time. It just destroys my heart. Anyways, boys, I gotta bounce. It's too late, Isms. It was a real pleasure. You are not the oldest one. I think Crowbar matches you. He's at this. Thanks for the talk. See you around. It was a real pleasure. And thank you for your open mind and critical thinking. It was a pleasure. And as I said, if your uncle has anyone who knows how to play Ultima Online, I would thank him eternally. I know it's way too much to ask, but yeah. If anyone knows here any person who played Ultima Online, you tell me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for the follow, and I deeply appreciate the chat above all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Phantom, District, and Flying Energies. Phantom, it's amazing that I see you again. Thank you for your support that night. Thank you for your support that night. That you stayed up until the end. It was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, pretty much in 3 days, I take a certification test about the cybersecurity. That one, I didn't get the name. I didn't get the name. The cybersecurity. True. So you get the BC schedule. Okay. The cybersecurity. That was that you had. I remember that it was like that. I remember the exact position. The cybersecurity. Okay. The cybersecurity. You got to cybersecurity. So how is it going? Today was a good day. New people, old people show up. This makes Eraser. It makes me deeply happy. It makes me deeply happy, District, when I see new and old people return to it. Because believe it or not, most people would think that I am a heartless tyrant because I say I'm conservative and monarchist, and really it's not. I get attached to polite people to people like you easily. I get attached easily. I don't get attached easily to people who insult me. In that sense, of course, I get quite angry, but it is proportionally the opposite for people I get attached. It's not that much about the game, but all of you. So yeah, you can see it in my reactions. It's like that because I was quite solitary as only child. It does have a reason. I didn't have brothers of my age. Consider that I grew up with my parents at 40. My parents were older parents, and I grew up also with my two grandparents who were at 80. I grew up with my friends, let's say, because at that point when you are an only child, your parents and grandparents are your friends somehow, being all much more older than me. So I am not used to deal with my own generation or even younger ones. So that's why it warms my heart. It's because of that. You can see it in my reactions. It's precisely because of that. Because I'm generally used to the culture of my grandparents. I spent all day with my grandfather, who was 80. He was like a father to me as well. So pretty much, because of that, the consequence, being an only child in that circumstance, is that yes, you get all the attention and everything, but you don't get to interact with people of your own age, or a bit less, 23 that Phantom said, or 18 that is Patrick, is pretty much only one generation before us. But no, District, I have the good news for you. As Eames said there earlier, he's from 1991, and Crowbar is also older, I think, than Assault. I'll then ask him in a private message if he was 1991 or I think he was 1990. I think he was 91. Huh? I think it would be a draw with Eames now. I think it would be like that. In 3 days you take the certificate test for cybersecurity. Phantom, you have no idea how happy I am that you found that job, because you told me that previously you had been like a bouncer over at some nightclubs, and from that to cybersecurity is a huge improvement, I would say. I bet you are earning more money, so deeply happy for you. How's the situation in Greece? Then that you were telling me about the gypsies. Lemao, that memory though. Oh no, I have photographic memory, Phantom. It's not that I was diagnosed or anything. I have photographic memory. I can remember what a person said or the expression on his face up to 20 years afterwards. I can repeat entire pages of books without looking at them for years. Yes, I have photographic memory. Especially if I paid attention originally to Lemao. I can remember worse things. It can be worse. It can be much worse. For example, I remember the name of my very first follower. His name is Juden. That is written down here. He never spoke in that sense. I remember the name of, and that happened in 2021. I remember. Whoa! I remember District's first phrase on the stream last year, which would be more as well. Do you remember who told you to play Drakensang Online? Oh, it would be someone around the name of DSO and District. I don't remember him. I remember your first phrase on stream, District, even. Your first phrase was, "This is not Drakensang Online," as I was playing Drakensang 1. So humble, bro. Really? I don't. I do. Your first phrase was that one. "This is not Drakensang Online," as I was playing Drakensang 1. For example, Flying Energy's first phrase was it was, "District told me to raid you." Whoa, what? This is a surprise. Phantom, in your case, it was. No. I want to believe more people besides me can do this. A Phantom, in your case, was in a raid from Flying Energies. It was in a raid from Flying. Nah, no way. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. I can certify you they are. In your case, Phantom, you were in a raid from Flying Energies, and you just said, how is it going, bro? Something similar to the salute that you just did here. So it matches your mannerisms. Like that. Patrick's first phrase was about, it was Drakensang Online is shit compared to the golden days of 1.0. In the case of Pillow's first phrase, as I was playing Spellforce 1, was you talk about philosophy, comma, interesting. Damn, I think you are actually right. I am. I remember them. Crowbar's first phrase, last year, as I was playing Sacred 2. That sounds like him. It was like him. Hey bro, how's it going? Something like that. You were in the raid from Flying Energies. I think you're actually right. Yeah, of course I'm right. I may have a lot of defects, but lack of memory. You didn't know that I had photographic memory. People. I have a lot of defects, huh? But I have pretty good memory. Crazy. Sometimes I tell to my friends over at Star Wars Your Republic things like these, and they tell me, fuck, I forgot your crazy memory. That is scary. That's so, because there, everyone you tell this to, the person, those reactions, you say, whoa, what the brutal. It makes you think about how fast our perception of time passes in time and space. People with the metaphysics and everything, how our perception of time and space goes by so fast. Well, for me, I'm very aware of it because of this memory. As I can remember those things, it is easier for me to feel the perception of time and space in that sense, because you can feel what was your first message today in chat. It was an emote. And no, I'm not looking at it because a lot of you can see my current chat here. Here, I'll show you so you don't see that I scrolled. Besides, the answer was instant. It was an emote. Which one? It was like the face of a human with a bird. I think I didn't pay that much attention, but it was the face of a human with something. Here, I'll show you so you see that I'm not looking at it. Here you can see that I don't see it. This is the chat, just so you see it, that I'm not looking at it. It was the face of a person, a guy with a bird, with a black bird. He had like olivine skin, like not brutally white like mine, a bit more toasted to the sun probably, with a bird, black bird. Damn, now I want to see if I'm right or not. Let me check Flying Energies. It was like that. Let me see how it was, the description. Ah, no, it was Mario with a guitar. No. The one that is like that is Pillow's one. I mixed them up. Look at this. I remember this one. This one I remembered. Yours was a smaller, so I didn't see it. This one is yours. It's like, let me check. It's like Mario with a guitar. No, there I made a mistake. See, I'm not perfect. I remember this one, though, of Pillow. That one of Pillow. I mixed them up. I mixed them up. That one is like Mario with the guitar. Okay, I mixed them up there. I made a mistake. Okay, but I was close. I remember the other one, and I wasn't paying attention. It's just that it's small, so I couldn't perceive the details of the picture. Maybe that failed. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Well, I remember the phrases of all. I think I named all of the phrases of everyone here in the chat so far. The first phrases you said to me, yours flying energy, as I said, it was District told me to raid you. It was that one. I love doing this. I love doing this because it shows us how fast time passes. Okay, but what's my real name? Oh, you told me Andrew. Your name is Andrew. Your real name. That one is easy. It's Andrew. Wasn't it? Like that. I think it was Andrew. If I had to say. I think you said it only once. Okay, maybe that was easy. No, it wasn't, Phantom. Phantom, that wasn't easy. You only said it once in your life. In a whisper, I think it was. To me after a stream. I didn't even treat it on stream. No, it wasn't easy. No, it wasn't. Trust me, it wasn't. It wasn't. No, not everyone would be able to do that. That one was easy. Well, you have a harder one. No, by the way, deeply happy for you. How are you doing with the cybersecurity? You are getting a better salary with it? I bet. That being the bouncer. There, I feel deeply happy for you. And if I don't see you because you are busy, happy Christmas and New Year. Happy Christmas and New Year. And thank you because you were there the day I ended up getting the affiliate. You, Patrick, and Crowbar were there till the last minute that I did it. So yeah, thank you in that sense. And of course the rest of you that always visit me. Flying Energies District, Pillow, Crowbar, Pekaren, Ambra that went to university precisely was also in that period visited me every day. Then he had to go to university. So thanks to you all, you to Yisums that visited me today. It warms my heart because think of it like this, people. My streams with all of the metaphysics and the crazy stuff I talk about. Well, most people would be scared in real life. They would be scared because of the things I talk. So yeah, not really better salaries. Sadly, in Greece the salaries aren't equal to the foreign countries, but compared to the previous one, like it should, in that sense. Damn. It's not better than any previous job you did, Phantom. The salary. Cybersecurity generally should pay more. Besides, Phantom, if you are uncomfortable with that, you have a EU citizenship. You can move to other You can move to any other of the European Union, no problem. Bouncer at the nightclub was 2k euros, I presume, or local currency a month. Currently, 2k the XD. No, the same. No, well, but once you. No, well, but wait. Once you get some years of working there, it will have the potential aspirational to increase, right? It should. Right, that is the point. Now, that has to be like that. In that sense, or you think it won't increase at all? That would be quite depressive, people. No, that would be quite depressive. No. It should increase. Not even 2k, but yeah. Right now, I'm just building your resume. Okay. Okay. Not even 2k, but yeah, it will increase if you perfect yourself in that. It should, without a doubt. Like it can't be the same service for society cannot be valued the same being a bouncer than the amount of time that it takes to study cybersecurity. At least, well, not in a reasonable society. Oh well, we don't live in reasonable societies since Obama, people. We don't. See, this is what I say that Flying Energies is brutally brave for even appearing on my stream with the brutal, with the politics I discuss in that sense, because a lot of people would fear getting uh, associated with me in that sense. Even though I've never insulted anyone, even when I was insulted, as I was telling Yisums at the beginning of the stream. Still. So, right now you are like putting in the effort to like build up your career. Okay. Build up your career. Okay. 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 It's good. It's good, Phantom. Keep at it. Keep at it. Because it will. This will happen. You will gather all of that knowledge, and once you perfect yourself, you will be able to then apply for any country of the European Union, and there you will see the fruits of your labor. There, you'll be able to apply and live in any other country that you'd like of the European Union, or maybe, I don't know. Are you very nationalistic about Greece? Otherwise, if you are very nationalistic about Greece, well, that could be a problem that will interfere with your career, because I bet you can get a much better salary at other countries of the European Union, without a doubt. And you avoid the inflation, the potential inflation that we discussed so many times on stream of Greece. So I would bet that once you perfect yourself in that, you will see the fruits of your labor. A lot. Why? Well, because in other countries, I bet there's a much bigger difference in salaries. I think it'll be like that. I think it will be like that, if you ask me. So keep at it. Do not give up. The oppression of life's uncertain nature is brutal on us all. Right? That is the biggest oppression that we feel as human beings, people. The uncertainty of life's nature. We like certainty as human beings. That's why we have insurance all over the place. Our societies work through insurance, actually. In a lot of cases, insurance against damage, insurance against chaos, insurance against violence with the parliament, for example, and civilized society. It's all insurance because of life's uncertain nature. But keep at it, do not give up, because in the end you can find that certainty for your life. I will try to find a hybrid remote job in the future, because now we are working shifts, and you don't want to spend another New Year's Eve working. No, 100%. Go for remote work. Is the best. Is the best. I agree with that 100%. It's the best. It's the absolute best. Yes. Hybrid remote is that you go maybe one day of the week. But then after you can build up your resume with experience, try to apply outside of Greece. Never disregard that. Apply outside of Greece. I do not know how much of a nationalistic person you are, Phantom, but I assure you that you will probably potentially get a much better salary if you do that. Apply outside of Greece once you have experience. I don't know if maybe you will miss your family or your relatives if you end up getting hired by that, but it will give you the money that you need. The money that you need. Apply outside. You have, I bet, there close to you. You can go to the north, to Austria, for example, to Germany, for example. There, I know it's a huge change, but you can apply. Try Germany, for example. Try, I don't know. Italy doesn't have it very developed as well, my country. So no. Uh, Austria. I'm thinking of either Estonia or Singapore right now. Estonia. Go for Estonia. You have the EU citizenship like me. Go for Estonia. Go for Estonia. The Baltics as a whole. Go for it. Go for it. Singapore, I wouldn't know if I would recommend. Crowbar has been in Singapore. Crowbar has been in Singapore. For example, one of my oldest viewers, I think you've never met him. He's from the UK. He's Irish, but he lives in the UK. He has been in Singapore. I would choose Estonia if I had to say, in your case. But yeah. If you don't have the problem of missing your home country, you do, but you can overcome it. Do so. So you get the extra money. You get the extra money. Because in our southern European countries, for all the virtues that we have, like a good integration of a family and etc., modern jobs like those are not that required, because the country as a whole is not ours. Italy the first, and Spain the first ones. They do not have that need, so the market does not demand those skills as much as they should, because they are quite advanced. So yeah, pretty much. Hey, I think I covered the whole. And search the Claw Viper. Ah, no, right, it wasn't this one. The Claw Viper Temple for the Headpiece. Ask Drognan about the strange darkness. Okay. Yeah, people. I just cleared this dungeon without any kind of thought. Both are very rapidly evolving in the cybersecurity sector, but I need to make a better research for sure. Do it. Do your research. You mean between Estonia and Singapore? I would say because of the fact that you already have EU citizenship and it's closer to you, I would pick Estonia, even if it's not as developed then at the end as Singapore. But I would pick Estonia blindly. But yeah, do so. So Singapore is like. I know that I repeated this several times, people, but inside of the framework of the European Union, countries are much more stable because of the laws and everything. If you have the opportunity of a country inside of the European Union, 100%. 100%, I would go for that. In that sense, in comparison. But well, it's your choice. That's what I share what I would do in your position. I would, if you know that Estonia is developing it, I would go for it 100%. 100% in that sense. I find it weird that Germany, with all of the technological advances that it has, is also not demanding it. The son of Germany, in that sense. Central Europe, but yeah. Besides, as I tell you, having the EU citizenship gives us all like a security that you don't get outside of it. And I assure you that besides that,
I've been researching this lengthy and I believe it to be the work of claw vipers. Find their temple beneath the desert sands, and you may find the source of this curse.
And you will have like the framework of the EU as another social security network. Like for example, health insurance. Have you thought about how you would handle that over at Singapore compared to EU? In EU, well, you are a citizen of the Union, and somehow you would get to. I presume there has to be some kind of treaty. There we go, people. Lost City. Some kind of treaty, some kind of pact So in all of our countries, we can seamlessly go from one to another in that sense. And the health insurance somehow can be solved because they have like treaties between them. I don't know how it is handled on a more detailed level, but I bet if they see another EU citizen, there's some kind of health insurance plan to offer to you in that sense. Oh, these guys that appear out of nowhere. Am I trapped? Yeah. They are quite lucky that they always trap me right at a corner where I cannot attack, where I cannot escape. I wonder if there's some kind of teleport ability here. They appear out of nowhere in that sense. So yeah, pretty much. So yeah. Damn. What the? Those genies come out of nowhere. See why I love older games, people. You wouldn't have this shit in a modern game at all. Where I'm currently working, health insurance is being covered by your company. You would suppose that something like that would also apply to either Estonia or Singapore. Ah, well then amazing, amazing, by the company. Okay. Okay, it's covered by the company. Okay, good. You are thinking about it from every single angle. That's good. That's good then, Phantom. That's good. I see you quite solid in your life plans. That's good. That's good. That's good. I see you quite solid. Keep at it. Do not give up. Keep at it. Keep at it. You are going through the good. You've already done the worst part, which is getting into the field. Like you got your first job. From there onwards, you just need consistency in that sense, uh, which is what everyone needs who isn't an employer, pretty much. So keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it because the worst part I think is already behind you. If I had to say, yeah, because of what you say, because you already got your first, job at it. You already have some experience to put on the resume. So pretty much, you always need to view all the aspects. Indeed. That's why. That's why. So I see you quite solid regarding that. Good. I feel deeply happy for you. Because as I tell you, I think the worst part is already behind you, which was getting into the field and researching about it and etc. And etc. Pretty much. The bad part is that you won't have that much time to play League of Legends. That I remember, it was your favorite one. Same with Patrick. Patrick also plays League of Legends. You won't have that much time to learn the rotations of the heroes in that sense. That I remember you told me that you loved League of Legends above all. There we go. I ended up awarding Dragonsang Online. I could beat it. Better for me. It's an improvement. The less league, the better. Good. I would suggest you to play offline games that are not that addictive. Maybe something like that. In that sense, they could make you not so addicted to them, but still provide you some quite good old-fashioned fun to pass time. Maybe when some of your code is compiling or something about the cybersecurity, when you do some more monotonous tasks. And no, I remember that after the bouncer, you were currently like at as the night shift of a hotel for the tourists. Now I remember over there in Greece. I remember there was like an in-between job. You switched that one for the cybersecurity. You're looking to play something relaxing, so I'm open to suggestions. Okay, something relaxing. Something very relaxing. I can suggest you. Uh, mm, yeah, the problem is that I generally like complex combats, but let me check. Something rather than on the relaxing side, slow paced. Mm, have you tried tower defense games? For example, tower defense games. My friends are playing Lost Ark right now, and that thing is 125 gigabytes. This equals to like 4 or 5 days download in a house I'm currently staying at. Okay, Lul, it needs to be a lightweight. May I suggest you this little game here, Sentinel 3 Homeworld? It's a tower defense game. Sentinel 4 Darkstar, or this one, Plants vs Zombies Replanted, that it got the this one, Plants vs Zombies Replanted, that had a remaster. This one is small, and it's not something that you need to dedicate a lot of time to. Hell, no, why? You think it's complex? No, it's relaxing. Card games, maybe? Yu-Gi-Oh! You can get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering? Thronebreaker that went from the Witcher card games. Oh, what about card games? All of these, you can check them out. This one, Ascension Chronicle of the Gods Lair. Or if not, go for arcade games. I think I will go for Elden Ring. No, well, but you asked for something relaxing, Phantom. You asked for something relaxing. That goes against your original premise. You asked me for something relaxing. If you want something open world, that is easier. Relaxing. Uh, how about the first Borderlands? How about the first Borderlands? Something relaxing. It's just shooting. It's not that difficult if you farm. It's just farming, pretty much. Except for the final secret boss. Borderlands, Immortals Phoenix Rising, they are on the easier side. This one, Biomutant, they are like open world, like Elden Ring, like you are asking. But they are easier. Pretty much. If you like MOBAs, if you like League of Legends, this one. This one is an offline MOBA. It won't give you that competitive problem. This one called Demigod. The games I'm playing currently are all competitive, so yeah, I need something to waste and ruin my life again. No. Okay. Mm, something competitive. But there I cannot help you that much. I don't like online games. Something to waste and you ruin your life again. Okay. But you would like to try Lost Ark, but the problem is that it's way too big. Okay. Path of Exile? Not looking for Path of Exile? Path of Exile is just what? 10 gigabytes? Last time I checked, but it was at launch. Maybe it's a bit more, but it won't be 125. Maybe Titan Quest. I played Titan Quest. Ah, you want an isometric action RPG? Now I see it. I played Titan Quest earlier this year. I played it. I completed it on the second difficulty. Did you like it? Yeah, well, oof. He's the father of all isometric action RPG, 3D isometric action RPG games. Yes, this is a classic. I played it. I played it. I played it. Precisely my first YouTube bots are now being released over at YouTube that I played earlier this year. Yes, you have to play Titan Quest. It's a classic. You mean isometric action RPG games? Yeah, you have to play it. This one is the father of all isometric action RPG games, Diablo here. Titan Quest is the first one that fixed 3D. I mean, yes, it's brutal. Yeah, yeah. The successor of it is Grim Dawn. And recently we've got Titan Quest 2. It's in early access still. It's still in early access. So, yeah. That was close. So, yeah, of course. If you haven't played Titan Quest, that is a classic. Yes. If you want a more modern version of it, if it looks way too old, a friend of yours gifted you Titan Quest 2. If you want something more modern, yeah, but that one is not complete, it's in early access. Try this one, Grim Dawn. This is the real successor of Titan Quest. This one is the real successor. This one. Or I'm playing another one that is Hungarian. This one. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. That I'm playing on generally on Wednesdays, but this week precisely the one I would suggest you above them all is this one, Sacred 2 Fallen Angel. This is the best piece of software, of German software ever created. This one. Not the remastered version if you don't like it. The good old games version. This one. That one is more like an MMORPG. It was my main case of analysis last year. That game is much bigger than Titan Quest, it's much bigger than Drakensang. It's so massive that it will consume. It took me a year to finish it. It's ideal for what you would like. Sacred 2. Get the good old games version. Don't get it at Steam. Don't get it at Steam. The Steam version broken. The good old games version has the Windows 10 fix. Like that. It should work. So yeah. Otherwise you can go for the remastered version, but Pekarin, another viewer of the channel, is telling me that they are still patching it. If you like, buy the remastered version. That shouldn't have any problems. But you'll have a bit to wait until they keep updating it. I would still get the Google Games version for now. So Titan Quest 1, yes, 100%. Sacred 2, Grim Dawn, and the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing that I'm playing. You will love them. I think out of all of them, the one with the most replayability would be Sacred 2. If you do all of the fucking side quests, I did so, it took me a year to complete it. I awarded it a 10 out of 10. It's like Skyrim, just so you can imagine, like World of Warcraft. It was originally meant to be an MMORPG. It was originally meant to be an MMORPG, so imagine. Sacred 2, well, if you haven't played this one, the father of all isometric action RPG games, Diablo, just... this one you have to play it. You can get the resurrected version with modern graphics. I like this one, I have both. So, yeah. This one is like the father of all of them, that started it all. So, yeah, this one 100%. This one, Claw of the Viper Temple. We made it. Indeed, a strong presence within this place. Okay. Like, if I were you, I would get this one if I haven't played it, because it's the father of them all. If you want something a bit more modern that I can get, this one is a bit old school in 2D. Titan Quest. If you want something even more modern than Titan Quest 1, Grim Dawn instead. Path of Exile for online. Completely free Path of Exile, so you have nothing to lose. Completely free. It's not pay to win. Path of Exile, you have to play Path of Exile. Completely free. Path of Exile. It uses a morally correct, they call it like that, payment systems, which is the players that can pay for it, pay for cosmetics, the ones that can't, they can play the game perfectly. So Path of Exile, totally free. If you tell me you have no room, Diablo 2 here with the MedianXl mod is only 2 gigabytes and it's better than most modern games, it's the father of them all. Titan Quest 1, Grim Dawn, and the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, I would say, rather than Titan Quest 2. And if you want something more like World of Warcraft with an isometric camera that is massive, my personal favorite, Sacred 2. Sacred 2. But it's a bit slower, the combat, eh? It's a bit slower. It's a bit slower. That sounds. Sacred 2. Sacred 2 is my main analysis. You have all of them that I played them all on the channel by now, except Grim Dawn and Van Helsing that I'm playing them right now because they are a bit more modern. I played them all. You have them on the channel. Path of Exile I played it offline, true, as well. But otherwise, over at the YouTube link, you can see me playing them even, so you can compare them. In that sense, I wanted to finish Titan Quest 1 before starting the second one. I will play Grim Dawn even first, because I like going in order. I have that problem, people. I have that huge problem. I like going in order. I like going in order. When a new game is released, I like playing first all of the previous ones of the series. Even for things like Mario Bros. Or Zelda, yes. 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 I'm currently at Zelda Skyward Sword, for example. I haven't played Breath of the Wild beyond the initial setting and everything. So yeah. But first I want to replay Skyrim, The Witcher 3, and then Breath of the Wild. I played The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2. Like that. Okay, I might check Sacred Fallen Angel. Sacred 2, Sacred 2. It's a bit slower, but it's the biggest one out of all of them. In relationship of money and how many hours it will provide you, if you do all of the side quests, it's like World of Warcraft. So the quest system, the level design, is like in dimension like World of Warcraft, all for yourself. It's really, really massive. And when I say really massive, it's not an exaggeration. It's bigger than Skyrim. Much bigger than Skyrim. In terms of square kilometers, it's as big as World of Warcraft back in 2008 in the Lich King expansion. Sacred 2. Fallen Angel. People. You can get the remastered version. The only problem is that if the remastered version is still being patched. Otherwise, get the Good Old Games version for the original one, so it doesn't crash. The Steam version, the original Steam version will crash, not the remastered one. Okay? So there's that. I would get the original Good Old Games version. I'm not that familiar with those references, but I get that is massive. It is. It is so massive. Trust me. Trust me, it is massive. It is massive. You will begin to think, once you start playing it and start seeing the map, Erasure, what on earth? Pause. Okay, because of the ad break. Of the ad break. Okay. No worries. Pause. Yeah, because of the ad break. No worries. Turn for disabled. Nah, never mind. Okay, what? It was because of another pause. Yes. Sadly, since I hit affiliate, they force that shit on my channel. They force that shit on my channel. So yeah, pretty much. Never mind. No, never mind. No ad break of 1 minute. Okay, you can listen to me. Ritual chamber. Oh, what is that? I get a lot of fireworks on top of my head, people. See how incredible the influence of the graphical quality on the level design is. It was a joke because you said it's massive. Trust me, it's massive. Okay, okay, okay. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, no. See, I'm terrible with those jokes. I remember that last day of non-affiliate stream that Patrick and you started joking about names like Lana being the opposite of anal and etc. that he said, and I started reading your phrase that was I am sofa king, like the sofa king, stupid or something like that. Something like that. I remember those. Still, what the fuck? Yeah, you don't remember it. That was your joke. You wrote, ah, it was like this. It was like this. Like this. I something like that. Like that. The so fucking like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember it. It was the last time you were on stream. Oh, I am so fucking. We too did. Well, that one. I failed in the last one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Patrick said, but my favorite name is Lana because of how it's read inverted. I am so that one. Yeah, 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 yeah. That one. We told did. No, you wrote it wrong this time. It was like this. We told like this. This you wrote. This you wrote. That one. That one is the part that I didn't remember. We told maybe yeah. Well, it was like that shit. I told you my memory was brutal. It was the last day. It was the last day. I remember it. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was like that. Well, you remembered it because you remember the joke itself. I just. So in terms of game recommendations, Sacred 2, it is massive. And you need to do a pause when you say it. Yeah, massive. Brutally massive. Incredibly massive. Uh, you can check out my gameplay, Phantom, and you will see that it takes me a whole year. It's my most watched gameplay. The video when I started it is at when I showed how to fix it for the Steam version because it was a mess for me until I realized it was the Good Old Games version. It is like 2,000 views because of the remaster release now. So, so yes, 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 yes. It's it's bigger than existence itself. As big as existence itself. Besides, it has several diff. Imagine World of Warcraft. The whole map, all for you, but with several difficulties like Diablo 2. Mind blowing, and it's not just 3 difficulties. I think it has like 5. So doing that massive world 5 times, imagine it. I didn't. I just finished it once on the highest difficulty available that I could do it. So Tainted Sun Altar. Ah, never played any of them. I'm such a casual. No, 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 no worry, Fanta, no worry. No, I don't say it because of that. No, no. Good. No, no, no. I say so you can expand the horizon. No. I also didn't in a lot of cases.
Who would have thought that such primitive beings could cause so much trouble?
I for example didn't play Sacred 2 until I discovered it last year. It was my main analysis of last year. I have another one for you to play. If you are a bit, you do cybersecurity, you are quite, you are quite experienced with finding older games file or older game files.
Hello.
My previous analysis of Sacred 2, Hellgate London. Get into the London 2038 Discord community, and you can play that one online like Sacred 2, but it's like Dragon's Sang Online, but it's not like competitive because it's an older game. It's the precursor of Borderlands, and you can find the files of the game. They had a license problem, and the one over at Steam is not the same game. You need to get the original disc version from 2008. If you have the time to do that, Hellgate London, you will love it. You'll love it as well.
Good day.
You'll love it as well, Hellgate London.
The Viper amulet you bear is actually the headpiece of a Herodric staff.
So get the files for the original Hellgate London. Hellgate London, no, like London, like Widow, with this, like the capital of England, the capital of the United Kingdom of England, yes. The capital of England, London. Widow, of course, not with A, but it's pronounced with A. London, got you. That one, get the files, join the London 2038 Discord. Thought it was a name. No worries. Like that. Get the original files. Get the original files for the original release of 2008. I won't say why, because I don't want to get banned. You cannot get the game commercially. Nowadays, the Steam version is completely different. The Steam version is Hellgate Global. Nothing to do. It was a Korean MMO reinterpretation of it. And it won't work with what I'm going to tell you. Get the files. Join the London 2038 Discord. Follow the instructions. And play London 2038, which is an expanded mod over the original one. You will find that it's amazing. The community manager of it was in my Discord back when I played it. So yeah, pretty much. London 2038. London 2038. 2038. Instead of the original Hellgate London. It's a mod developed by the community, but it needs the original files instead of the ones at Steam. So once you get that, for free you can experience that amazing game. It's like a shooter. It's a shooter with RPG elements. It's the precursor of Borderlands. That one for free, just like I would suggest you to download for free the files of Diablo 2. They are very old games and classics, and modded with the MedianXl mode like this instead of the modern versions of them. So you have Phantom. You may need to dedicate a bit of time. Well, yes, but they're in the range of what you are looking for. Okay, people. So all of those, the same stance. But if you want something without any kind of issue, Sacred 2. Sacred 2 will be massive. It has no dialogues, voice acted at all, I think. But if you just want to follow the gameplay loop of something like Dragon's Sang Online, of offline doing a lot of quests, if it's for quests, I would say that Sacred 2 will last you more than League of Legends, Counter-Strike, than the competitive online games, with it being offline. Never read the dialogue, so that's not a Sacred 2 is for you then. If you want something like World of Warcraft, just doing quests, Sacred 2 is for you. Sacred 2 is for you. Then, with that phrase, you have to play Sacred 2. You have to play Sacred 2. The skill tree is not that complex. You have lots of classes, 5 difficulties, and a massive world. Sacred 2 is for you, Phantom. You won't forget me if you play that game, ever. You will come back and tell me, Eraser, it's so big. It's so freaking big. I cannot fathom a team of developers actually created this shit back in 2008. It looks quite good for 2000. By the way, we cannot see the gameplay currently. Looking at the post screen of the game. What? You sure? What the fuck? You sure? Damn, what's this? It is frozen? What the fuck? I unpaused that long ago. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is interesting, people. I paused, yeah, some minutes ago before doing the boss. Ah, this is interesting. What about if I change the scenes? Damn. Damn, the game got frozen. You cannot see my screen. What the fuck? Oh, I need to remember to not alt-tab with this game then. It's so old that it gets frozen when I alt-tab. Oh boy. Oh boy, let me try opening it again. Well, anyways, I was about to finish, but what happens if I close the process? Lul! What the fuck? What on earth? Dang. Damn, the game is so old that it froze the stream.